Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to go over a couple of new wildcard drafts, one with Haaland, one without. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below, leave a comment, are you activating your wildcard for Game Week 12, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So starting things off, we're going to be taking a look at the Haaland Draft. I know a lot of people have obviously jumped off the Haaland train. The fixtures don't look great. He has played very, very well internationally, so obviously he's come back into the conversation a little bit. I think that he will come good again as well. It's just obviously there are better options out there right now. But if you are wanting to go on a wildcard draft with Haaland, this is one that I would kind of think about putting together if I was you. But either way, in goal we've got Raya and Fabianski. Fabianski having a 4 mil playing goalkeeper is absolutely vital because it just saves you so much money, and it's really useful for like bench boost, and just if you've got 1 week where your main goalkeeper's not having a great fixture, you can always play him if they've got a decent fixture. But Ray is going to be your main keeper. He is 5.5, 5.6, so a little bit expensive. But I do think that an Arsenal defence or an Arsenal defender or something like that is very vital for the upcoming fixtures, just because they're very, very good. You know, they've got Forest at home, then they've got West Ham away, Man United at home again. We don't know how that fixture is going to go because we don't know how Man United are going to play under the new manager. But all in all, I think it's not like a necessity. Definitely not double Arsenal defence being a necessity, but I think at least one is going to be very, very useful. Because if they turn it on and the defence just starts improving and it's as good as it was last year, you're going to be missing out on points every single week. And it's quite a difficult player to get to as well from a defensive standpoint because they are relatively expensive. You could also go Timber as well because Ben White has had that. I think he's like had an operation or something like that, some sort of surgery. And so Timber being 5.5, I think he is actually 0.1 cheaper than Raya. So if you wanted to go that direction instead, then you could. It's just when Ben White's back, you're going to have to sort that out. Whereas with Raya, you know he's going to be the main goalkeeper for the remainder of the season. So I've got Raya and Fabianski, but yeah, 2 goalkeepers for what, 9.5, 9.6. It's not too bad at all. At the back, we've gone Konate, Colwill, Veltman, 8 Nori, and O'Shea as well. He's just there, obviously, as your 4 mil defender. It could be any 4 mil defender, really, though. But yeah, they've got some pretty nice fixtures coming up, Ipswich do, so I don't mind having him just as backup, just in the worst case scenario that you do need to play him. Like, they've got Palace at home coming up and stuff like that. So it's quite a useful player to have just in case you need him. 8 Nori is just in there because of the sea of green fixtures they've got coming up. Fulham away is quite a tough one in Game Week 12. But after that, they've got Bournemouth, Everton, West Ham, Ipswich. Really, really nice fixtures. 8 Nori is very, very attacking. Got quite a couple of goal contributions so far this season. And yeah, they haven't had a great season so far, but at the end of the day, they've had some pretty tough fixtures. But either way, I think 8 Nori is quite a nice option to have on a wildcard draft. I've also gone Veltman as well. Any 4.5 mil Brighton defender will do, though. I do like Veltman, though, just because he has a slight better attacking threat than the others. But with that Southampton fixture coming up, they've got Leicester away coming up, Crystal Palace at home coming up. Just solid fixtures for Brighton. They've been playing really, really well this season as well. So I really like Veltman as an option because honestly, I think they're going to absolutely smash it this season. And I think the likes of Veltman, Danny Welbeck, Pedro obviously as well, if he's getting a lot more minutes, I think are going to be very, very good options to have. Also gone Colwill as well. Leicester away this week. Villa at home, not ideal, but then Southampton away after that as well. So the Villa fixture is sandwiched between 2 very nice fixtures. Obviously, they are both away, but at the end of the day, I think Colwill is... I know he's flagged at the moment. Again, we're going to get press conferences at the end of the week, and hopefully all these flags do disappear. I think he's a little bit better just... In terms of goal threat, he's a little bit better than Fofana, but really, I think Colwill for 4.5 is an absolute steal. And yeah, I definitely have him on a wildcard draft. And I've also gone Konate as well. You know, he's not going to be losing his spot anytime soon to Kwanzaa or like Gomez or anything like that. Obviously, he's a little bit he's not as nailed as Van Dijk, but you know, at the end of the day, Konate's not going to lose his spot. 5.4 mil. Southampton away coming up. I know they've got City and Newcastle coming up as well in the next 3, but you could just bench him for those fixtures. Like, you're going to be playing Veltman, who's got Southampton that week. You're probably going to play 8 Nori as well, and then you might play Colwill, who's got Villa. It's up to you, really. But I mean, that cagey game, that could be a cagey game as well between City and Liverpool. It could finish 0-0, you never know. But either way, that's the back line. In midfield, we've got Rodgers, Semenyo, Mbumo, Palmer, and Salah. So a lot more flags in the midfield. Obviously, if those flags do turn a little bit worse and, you know, they're not actually fit for the game week, then you don't go into a wildcard draft with flagged players because it just doesn't really make sense. Unless they're back, like, very soon and they're a player that you, like, really need in your team. But yeah, Rodgers in there, just really good budget midfielder option. Really nice fixtures coming up as well. Plays 90 for Villa most weeks, so I really like him. Semenyo is in there as well with some really nice fixtures coming up. If he was on penalties, it would be insane. It'd be an absolute steal. But I do like Semenyo as one of the better players around that price point. I understand that Smith Rowe is also a really good option around that price point, but he does have some trickier fixtures coming up. Whereas Semenyo, apart from that Spurs fixture, which again he can easily score in, you know, you just got a sea of green fixtures for Semenyo, so I really like him as an option. Mbeumo I think is good for the next two. But obviously after that, you could start thinking about getting rid of him. Maybe when people wanting to bring in like Saka or something like that, maybe that's when they're going to move off Mbeumo. But as of right now, I think for Everton and Leicester, he's definitely a hold. Palmer has been spotted in training, so I'm sure that yellow flag will change. But yeah, he's just going to be one of the best players to own in the game at the moment. I don't really have to talk about him too much more. And then Mo Salah, likewise, really good captaincy option, probably the best. Maybe Palmer is, maybe Salah is, who knows. They're probably both going to score pretty big. But again, at the same time, it could be massive swings as well. Like if you go and captain Palmer and then he blanks and then Salah smashes it, could be like the alternate as well, where Salah might blank and Palmer smashes it. It's just good to own both, really, especially for these sort of game weeks. But they alternate captaincy really, really nice. So I really like those as options as well. And that's the midfield. And then up top, we've gone Welbeck. We've gone Haaland, and we've also gone Strand Larsen as well. Going down from Gabriel to Konate does allow you to upgrade to that Welbeck, and I think he's just going to be a really nice option going forward. Obviously not on penalties. Maybe he is if João Pedro is not on the pitch, but João Pedro's minutes I think are going to get managed with Rutter a little bit. He is obviously a lot cheaper at 5.4, but I kind of want that stability in Welbeck. He's been playing really well this season, getting a lot of goal contributions. I just think he's a solid option. Like I say, it's a Haaland draft, so obviously Haaland's in there. He got some good fixtures coming up though. After the Spurs and the Liverpool game, they've got some pretty nice fixtures coming up. So maybe if you've held on to him this long, if you're not even on a wildcard draft, he might just be worth keeping a hold of. And then also gone Strand Larsen as well. Again, going to be your last attacker, really, your 8th attacker, but has some really nice fixtures coming up, so I don't mind playing him in the weeks where maybe you don't want to play Rodgers when he's got Chelsea away or something. So obviously you play Strand Larsen, who's got Bournemouth at home that fixture or that week. So that's the Haaland draft. I don't mind it. Obviously Haaland does take up a lot of the funds, so it does stop you from having like a Saka and stuff like that. Potentially, I think I'd rather go with Saka over Haaland, because I just think the ceiling is a little bit higher in terms of what the other players with those extra funds get you as well. But either way, we'll go into the non-Haaland draft right now. So the defense is very, very similar. We've still got Raya and Fabianski in goal. Already spoken about them, so I don't really need to go into those in too much more detail. And then at the back, we have changed O'Shea out for Digne. Konza, I think, did come off with, I think he left international duty with an injury. He isn't flagged at the moment, but I think for the extra 0.3, Digne just offers you a lot more of those attacking returns. His goal involvement is a lot higher than Konza's, like 0.38, 0.17. 0.3 it was against Liverpool as well, by the way. 0.41, 0.26, 0.13. He's getting, you know, roughly 70 to 90 minutes every single fixture as well. So if you are hanging on for that like 1-0 and that clean sheet, then maybe he comes off and he does get you that, he does bank you that clean sheet. They've got some really nice fixtures coming up: Palace, Brentford, Southampton, Forest. You could go Konza if you wanted the money, but I just like Digne as an option. A little bit of a differential as well, really. And then the rest of the defenders are the exact same. It's still Konate, Veltman, Aït-Nouri, and Colwill. So I do really like this defence. And you still have that Arsenal defender as well. You got the Liverpool defender, and obviously you've got the other 4 defenders have just got really nice fixtures. And you don't have to worry about a 4-mil defender kind of letting you down each week. You can generally just, like, it's going to have benching dilemmas, obviously, but it allows you just to field a solid team. And you can probably bench boost relatively soon as well. Maybe in game week, I don't know, well, I'd say 13, but obviously Konate's not got the best fixture. But yeah, I really like that defense. And then in midfield, obviously it has changed a little bit. We have gotten rid of Semenyo, and instead we've introduced Saka into the fold. Like I say, I think Saka is another player that just alternates really well with Palmer and Salah in terms of captaincy. Like this week you'll go, I don't know, let's say Salah. Next week you'll go Saka, who's got West Ham away. And then in the week after you'll go Palmer, who's got Southampton away. And then after that, you go Salah, who's got Everton away. And then you obviously can pick either Salah, Palmer, or Saka, because they've all got really good fixtures. When Salah has Fulham, Palmer has Brentford, and Saka has Everton. So, yeah, this midfield very much picks itself. again, the Mbumo pick is someone you're probably maybe potentially getting rid of. I don't think he's a necessity to get rid of if you have other fires in your team to put out. Like, Villa away is not awful. Newcastle at home, Chelsea away, like, they're not the worst fixtures from an attacking standpoint, but again, it's not something that I'd be bringing the player in for to attack those fixtures. But either way, they're all the midfield. Again, a lot more flags. Saka's flagged as well. But again, they're all flagged because they didn't go on international duty. But we will get the press conferences and stuff at the end of the week. We'll probably get training pictures as well, which will give us a good idea of whether someone's going to be fit or not. But that's the midfield. And then up top, really like this up front. Welbeck again. Gone Isak instead of Haaland, and I've also gone Kuna as well. So at this point, I think Rodgers probably becomes your 8th attacker. But at the same time, benching dilemmas 100%, but as well as that, it's just a really nice front three. I do really like Jackson as an option as well. It's just the 4 yellow cards are putting me off a tiny bit. Because if he does pick up a yellow card and then he misses like the Southampton game or something like that, it's going to be really, really annoying. So if you did want to save a bit of money though, you could go Isak to Jackson. Then with that extra funds, you could upgrade somebody else, like maybe an Mbumo to a... Could even upgrade him to a Bruno Fernandes if you really wanted to, but at the end of the day, I do really like Isak as an option. Obviously on penalties, Kuna should be on penalties, Salah, Palmer, and Mbumo, Saka all on penalties. So those penalty takers, very, very useful in a squad. But this is the non-Haaland draft. I definitely prefer this one. It's just the Haaland funds allow you to bring in, instead of just Haaland, you get Isak, Kuna, and Saka, and Digne. Whereas with the Haaland draft, you get, obviously, Haaland, Strand Larsen, Semenyo, and then like a 4 mil defender. So for me, spreading those funds out just makes the team look so much better, and I definitely opt for the non-Haaland draft. But if you do want to carry on with the with Haaland and hope that he does come good, like I say, scores a lot, he has just scored a lot in the international break, then obviously the Haaland draft might be for you. But either way, those are a couple of wildcard drafts that I did put together. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please do consider hitting the thumbs up button down below. Let's try and hit 100 likes. Leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bells. Everything from me. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time, peace.